Désolé, le logiciel il bug ce soir, je sais pas pourquoi. Donc désolé pour ce bug encore une fois. Chien. Si ça rebug, j'arrêterai le live.
They appear to be abandoned. This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised. This box must be the safe. Let's open it.
Ok. Bon.
The Mexican company Caracal and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information. Perhaps Mycroft could help.
Bon, je sais déjà que c'est qui a fait le coup. Paquet de dynamite.
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good. Fire at this package.
dynamite.
Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
On a examiné les mines, ça c'est fait. Examiner là, entre Chesterfield et ouais, c'est la station.
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking. Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Pas vu le bouton manquant. Marque d'alliance, donc il est divorcé.
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map, there should be a quarry here, and behind that, the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
I was working in Nottingham, but I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph, just the same as all the other nights.
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake.
La plage.
Here we are at the beach that is located near the quarry and Doncaster station. These traces were made by a carriage. Look. The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. This place was abandoned fairly recently. Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
Hein?
A label with the name Las Zarpas.
Inspecter la plage achevée. Ok. Passer la gare Doncaster au peigne fin. Le télégraphe pour enquêter sur la société. Ok, examiner l'embranchement secondaire des vaches.
The entire train has disappeared. It's a disaster.
Quel autre embranchement d'ailleurs?
I asked Mycroft to find out some information on the WEA Coal Company. Here is his reply, and it is an interesting one.
Si un chilien mexicain veut tous deux acheter les mines, un mexicain a obtenu une promesse de vente par le PP normand. Le groupe chilien est parvenu, grâce à ses relations, à rafler les mines sous le nez de son concurrent. Cool. J'ai pas compris, examiner l'embranchement secondaire. Ah, je suis bien à ce machin là. Ouais, Snam qui est là, ouais. Allez Watson, putain, mais c'est une blague ça aussi. Dégage de là que je puisse passer. Putain. Alors c'est l'autre côté alors que je dois faire du coup. Il est où l'autre embranchement? Ah, je peux pas y aller. L'autre embranchement, il est où? Putain, marrant, toi.
Holmes, I don't understand. Why do you care so much about this business with the money? A funny character. He looks
And he is not. This scent is familiar to me, but in order to recognize it, I must combine my associations into one picture.
C'est un Mexicain. Bah alors, ça va mieux dans ce sens-là, je trouve. C'est mieux.
A greenish brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveler or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station.
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase, and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes.
Betting slips for horse racing. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
A telegraph. Railway post bags. This post bag belongs to the station master.
Qu'un avocat répond à l'appel, je tiens à vous assurer que je ne tarderai pas à honorer l'intégrité des traites restantes du gouvernement à mes dettes. Ok, il y a des dettes de bonhomme.
The station master appears to have found himself in some financial trouble.
Sage discipline, faire confiance, j'ai réussi ça. On se dit peut-être que je t'ai je vais pas t'aider dans son office. Que tu souhaites ça, je tiens toujours à toi.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Il est où le...
Watson, would you like some tea?
No.
Il est où le Mexicain? Chef de gare déjà.
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon. Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Goodbye, sir. Watson, it seems that both South American companies were involved in the purchase of the mine.
The man at Doncaster who fled our approach, he smokes Mexican cigars. Perhaps...
Yes, Watson. We should certainly speak with him. Please, sir, we would ask you not to leave. We have some questions.
Are you the police?
No, we are employed by the railway company. We are collecting witness statements about the train that disappeared last night.
Lo siento, I'm in a hurry.
Really? It seemed that you were waiting here for someone. Could you tell us if you were at the station last night?
No, I just arrived from South America.
A formidable journey, no doubt. Which country are you from?
De Chile.
C'est pas élégant. Cigare de luxe. « Pour de combat.
Chile? But you are Mexican.
No, you are wrong. Why would you think I'm Mexican?
Because of your cigars.
Sí, cigarrillos. So what?
Those cigars are the Ricardo brand, from Mexico. It is quite impossible to find them anywhere but there.
Pero not your business.
Il est pas content, lui.
I don't suppose that you are on vacation. What business brought you here?
I was to meet my fellow compañeros. Where did you arrive yesterday? They were on that damn train. I will stay here and hope that the authorities find them, or their bodies. It's now my responsibility to repatriate them.
Who authorized you to do that?
The company I work for.
Could you tell me the name of the company?
It's not your concern.
And what is your name?
Enough questions. Buenas tardes.
Not a very friendly man, and he is...
Je sais pas où il est l'embranchement secondaire de Vestam. Je sais pas où il est.
Here it is.
Il y a qu'il manque des indices alors. Ah, je dois examiner l'embranchement, mais je sais pas où il est. Je sais pas où il est l'embranchement, ça m'énerve.
What should we do next, Holmes?
A discarded item. Railway sleepers. Nothing unusual.
J'aimerais savoir où est l'embranchement, moi. Ah ouais.
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd. Traces. Let's take a closer look. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle would... These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. The traces found at the disassembled shed near Evesham and at the lake were from the same vehicle. This road should lead to the town of Evesham. It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station, and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few 100 feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
See you later, my good man.
Ah, il manque encore un indice, voire deux. Il manque encore les indices. Mais lesquels? À la guerre entre Chesterfield et... À la guerre entre Chesterfield et Arnhem. Entre Chesterfield et... C'est donc Chester, il faut que j'examine l'embranchement.
This railway branch should lead to the quarry. This...
Holmes, I don't understand. Why do you care so much about this?
The rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway is still usable. The railway ends here. That is strange.
Alors. Vous avez trouvé et utilisé tous les indices de l'enquête. Ah. Maybe it's when you were done, where we had to rest. Don't you cry, don't move. Pour de l'assurance. J'ai les conclusions, il y en a déjà deux. Il y en a déjà deux. Déjà vers la carrière. Ah, c'est les Mexicains ont noyé les Chiliens. Alors, ouais, mais je m'en fous de ça. Quoi ça? Chilien vole du prototype? Bon, on va pas voir ça maintenant, la conclusion. De toute façon, il faut 1, 2, 3, 4. Ok. Ce qu'on fera, on verra tout ça demain. Du coup, parce qu'il faut que j'aille me coucher. Je suis mort. Je suis en train de m'endormir. Donc du coup, je vous laisse et puis on regardera la résolution du cas demain. Du coup, ça vous laissera un peu le suspense. Voilà. Donc je vous dis bonne nuit et puis à demain. Bisous bisous. Tchou. À demain.